Hello beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chu and today we are going to be going over my mixing process. So a couple videos ago, or maybe last video depending on when I actually upload this video, we did like a quick tutorial on basically how to make really dope samples using FL keys and, you know, manipulating sample rate. So I'm just gonna play that really quick. I'm gonna play like this section of it. So if you want to see how we made this, you know, fucking heat, there'll be a card or something appearing in the top right corner of the video right now, and then there will also be a link to it in the description below. But yeah, we're going to be, as you can see and hear, this beat is clipping super hard as fuck. It's banging, but like the mix is bad, and it could just slap so much harder if we mixed it down properly. I think I can separate this into, let's see, 1, 2, 3 parts. I would say the first part that we're gonna work on right now is just like basic, like it's basically gain staging, and gain staging is the whole process, honestly. Like you don't stop gain staging throughout the entire mixing process, because there's gain knobs and there's volume knobs on basically every VST, every instrument, every channel rack, every mixer. Everything you feed your sounds through has, you know, gain knobs, so you're gain staging throughout the entire process. But I like to start my gain staging in the channel rack. I just want to make sure, you know, things aren't clipping and stuff just kind of sounds good and just kind of sticks together nicely. So I'm going to use this section right here because this has the most sounds playing. And I'm basically just gonna start with my 808 because that's always gonna be the loudest thing, and then I'm gonna move from my lowest frequency sounds up to my highest frequency sounds, and I just want to make sure everything kind of just sounds good to me. So I might lower this a little bit. Okay, that's decent enough for me. Things aren't clipping super hard, things aren't clashing anymore. So next I'm just gonna route everything to the mixer by highlighting everything that isn't already there. So basically all my drum sounds, because I already did the melody in the last video. I'm gonna bring it to something. I'm gonna bring it to one track in the mixer, hit Control, hit Shift, and hit L all at the same time. It'll automatically route everything that was selected. So now, before I do any actual mixing, the next part of this is that I'm gonna add some effects to the sounds. So the first kind of effects that I add to my sounds usually starts with the 808. So I usually just do a basic EQ to get those lowest frequencies out. So the reason you do this is because these lowest frequencies, again, aren't even really auditory actually to the human ear, and they just add a lot of muddiness. Unless I'm going for like a tasteful muddiness, I'll EQ this anywhere from like 25 to 30 hertz with like a steep cut. can notice the difference that it makes. It just makes it sound tighter and cleaner, and it makes it knock harder. Now, another thing you can do that I do to 808s a lot is add Camel Crusher and just use this British Clean preset. It just adds like an extra oomph, and it makes it like kind of hit through the mix. So I usually just add it under the EQ because I still want anything that's being added by Camel Crusher to be, any of those lowest frequencies to still be equalized out. So then the last thing I'll add is the Fruity Distort. And this is really the sauce. Like this preset right here, the compressor preset, just add this shit to basically everything, bro. This difference making, bro. And if you wanna take out a little bit more of the highs, you can. I just want to tame that a little bit with this EQ. So the next effects that I like to add are to the hi-hats. Again, I'll just do some EQing, take out those lowest frequencies, boost the highest frequencies. Then again, I'm gonna add this compressor preset from Fruity Distort because it's fire on hi-hats. So I'm just gonna repeat this process for the open hat. Okay, so one thing that I do in the mix to my claps is I'll take like sausage fattener, and you can do the same thing with Sound Goodizer. And let me check if sausage fattener is even free, bro. Because if this hoe isn't free, I'm about to switch it to Sound Goodizer, deadass. Oh, okay. Sausage fattener is a not fucking free, bro. So, okay. So something that I like to do to my claps is to add some like boost to them to make them sound like kind of super thick. So since I can't do that with sausage fattener, I'm gonna do that with, not wave candy, it's the other thing that starts with the W. I'm gonna do that with wave shaper. But basically any any distortion or compression or combination distortion compression VST will work for this. So that's usually what I do to get my claps to slap super hard in the mix. All right, to get my kick to slap just a little bit harder, I'm gonna add this soft clipper and push the threshold in post just a little bit. All right, and then the last thing I'm gonna do is bring in the melody. I already kind of added some effects. This was just a basic like EQ to take out some unwanted frequencies. This is something you'll see everybody doing on almost every single melody they're using. I added some warping and some warping with isotope vinyl, and then some slight reverb. Gonna bring everything down, and then I'm gonna start with the 808. So I always start with the 808, and I'll bring this to about like negative 16 dB. I'll bring the kick right under that around 17. Then I'll bring the snare around 17 as well. Like 18 to 17. And I'm actually going to center this snare. I'm gonna center the stereo so it doesn't sound as wide. So it went from sounding like this. Subtle, but it'll slap harder in the mix now that it's in mono. Bringing the clap to around the same peak, about negative 17. Again, I'm gonna put this completely in mono. I like to have most of my drum sounds in mono if I can have it that way. When I'm mixing with these particular levels, I like to bring the hi-hats anywhere from negative 21 to negative 18 dB. So I'm just gonna play around with that. The hi-hats and the open hats will usually play around those frequencies. I mean, those decibel ranges, negative 21 to negative 18. So since this is kind of like my rhythm setting hi-hat pattern, I'm gonna have the second one, which is kind of doing the rest of the two steps just a little bit lower, and that just adds like a beautiful bounce to the beat. Like, I love this. So I'm gonna bring this high open hat to like, let's see, actually, since this open hat is kind of more prominent, I'm actually gonna have it hit at like -25. So those reference ranges don't work for this open hat, so I'm gonna use something different. I would say melodies usually dance from the frequency range of -30 to -21. Again, because these can have so many things going on with them, I give them a wide range. Plus I take into consideration the fact that they could be a lot higher or a lot lower depending on what's happening with them. I just use this, basic decibel range as a starting reference point, and then I kind of move from there. All right, so now I'm just gonna put everything in stereo and see how it sounds. And I really think this mix is fucking beautiful. I think everything is glued together perfectly, and yeah, that's the entire process. Like, I think if you go through this video step by step and mix your beats like this, you will find that your beat mixes just sound a lot better, a lot cleaner, a lot crisper if you take these tips. I'm gonna be arranging this video in another tutorial, so stop by in a couple of days to see this entire project be arranged. You guys are gonna see this, basically this whole project be made and fleshed out and shit. It's gonna be really dope. But yeah, enough rambling. Stay happy, stay healthy, always be creating. Just make sure it's dope content only. Peace. I'm out.